How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Salvage Auto Rebuilds, where we are once again back in the shop with another episode for you guys. So yes, today is going to be quite a bit of a busy day for us. There's a whole lot of things happening, as you can see. We're going to be working on all of the vehicles in the garage over here at the moment. So I think let's maybe start right over here on this side. Which is not a car, but this is going on a car, or should I say a truck. So this is the suspension that we promised our good friend Delboy, FRH Gaming. There will be a link to his channel down below in the description of this video, guys, so go and check him out, show him some love. He's going to be making some of my garage content pretty soon, if he hasn't started yet by the time this video drops, so definitely go and check him out. So yeah, guys, this is the suspension we're going to be putting together for him, for his Jesse, aka El Camino. And right next to that, we've got TC's Lada Coupe, which we are in the process of finishing up this car, more or less, guys. It's nearly there. We've got a couple of panels that needs to go back onto the bodywork, and a couple of accessories, headlights, blinkers, radiator and such. And then we've got the engine to sort out. So yeah, guys, I'm a little bit unsure of this, but I'm going to try it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, then I guess we will maybe ask you guys what is up with that. I see we've got the wrong pulley over there, which I clearly didn't get. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna finish this thing today, but we're gonna see how far we can get with it. And then next to that, we've got the E36 BMW, which I finally got the front splitter, guys. So let's go ahead and pop this on real quick and just see what that looks like. Yeah, look at that. Now that is exactly the look I was going for with this car. I think this thing is gonna look super nice once we are finished with everything. So we still got to mount the engine and transmission, which you can see is right over here. So this is in fact a brand new engine from the Vehicle Extra Parts shop down by the beach. So we've picked this thing up. I think it cost me $8,400. I can't exactly remember now. So we are kind of tight for money, guys. So my plans would be to try and see if we can get this car sold in order to get some money back into our pocket. And then, yeah, that is going to be something that we can hopefully tackle today. And hopefully we can even get to this today, which is not a priority, but it would be very nice if we can get this thing put together. So this is our 1958 Chevy Bel Air. It still needs a whole lot of work, as you can see clearly just by looking under here. We've got a crap ton of rust on this thing. We've got a new floor pan and also the new inner fender for the front left, because that one is completely rotted away. So we're going to dig into that and see how that is going to go and what it's going to entail getting that taken off and replaced. We've got our brand new, well, not really brand new, but yeah, refurbished, and also some second-hand parts and some are new parts over here for the front suspension. And as I mentioned in the last episode, we are going to be doing a brake disc conversion on this car, which we don't have the brake discs either. So yeah, well, we're going to see how far we can get. I think we've got a whole lot of stuff to keep us busy with today, guys. So I think let's get started and see how far we can get with well, first of all, putting the suspension together. So I think we'll start on this end, and then we'll work our way towards the Bel Air. And yeah, that'll be the last car we work on for today, would be the Bel Air, hopefully. So I guess let's get started on this. So starting with our front suspension for the El Camino. All right, so some of these parts aren't going to be able to go onto the actual cross member here because they need to go onto the truck, which we don't have at the time of recording this. So I guess also Delboy could probably also just put it on himself, you know, because I mean, he's also a mechanic. He also knows his way around cars, so gotta leave some work for him to do as well. Now, as for the Lexus IS 300 that he is going to be trading us, yeah, I actually had a bit of problems with that, well, taking delivery of that car. So yeah, hopefully soon we will get that sorted out and just get the, you know, the car in the shop so that we can also start looking at it and figuring out what it needs. Let's go ahead and pop this onto there. So yeah, I'm just going to put everything together as far as I can. And then that way he's got pretty much brand new suspension for his El Camino, and just going to be able to pop it into the truck or onto the truck and then get it up and running like that. I don't know if he's going to send it to me to do the work, but we'll see. I don't know yet. At the time of recording this, I don't know exactly what's going on with that project. So we've got a few customers still pending, or well, work that we still need to do for some guys, some people in my Discord. So one of them are Mr. Phantom, who's been a very, very big supporter of the channel so far, guys. He's definitely been giving us a whole lot of donations and you know, all sorts of things to help us out here and get everything sorted and just, you know, make our way to the top. And I think it's pretty cool getting these actual customers in and sending them, you know, their finished products at the end of the day. So I think that is as far as we can go with front suspension, because this needs to go to the car or onto the car, and so do the shock absorbers. So we'll just be sure to send everything over to our friend Delboy once we are ready for that, or maybe it's going to be just kicking around the shop until we can get it installed for him. So I don't know exactly what is going on. So yeah, a lot of things still to come, guys, over here at this shop. So let's carry on with the rear suspension. Just gonna pop this into here. Alright, that's our first hub in. And we'll grab the new one for this side. And there should be another bolt right over there. Okay, that's not going to be able to mount to this, and also the leaf springs won't be able to mount to this, so pretty simple. Alright, so now we didn't get the brake parts yet, so I think we'll probably sort that out as well for him before that happens, or before we send this over to him. So I think for now that is as far as we can really go with this. It's been definitely quite a lot of work, you know, getting all of these projects and trying to remember to order all of the parts for them. So I'm thinking, yeah, we'll sort this out once we get to that. So at least now this part of the job is done. So it's just the brake discs and calipers with brake pads and such. So yeah, straight off the bat, we're going to jump into putting this car back together, TC's Lada Coupe. So I think let's start with our freshly chromed rear bumper. Gonna get that back onto the car. So yeah, he's got a whole lot of bling on this car, and I decided, yeah, let's just go ahead and, you know, do our own thing, or kind of you know, follow our own heart when it comes to this project, guys. So we've got our fenders that we need to mount. Now these still need to be polished, because we did spray them black in the last episode, because they weren't black, they were actually blue off of a donor vehicle that we found. So well, not really a donor vehicle, but you know, a car in the junkyard that we took them off. So I'm just going to check everything, make sure everything is zipped down, which it is. So that is looking pretty good. Alright, so the next step would be to get this front clip back onto there, and that is going to need our welding machine, which yeah, I still haven't decided to get myself another MIG welder. It's not really necessary, and it's not really ideal welding onto a car without disconnecting the battery, you know, but I think we'll be fine. Luckily this car doesn't have any electronics at the moment installed, or well, not a whole lot in electronics. Alright, so I think that is looking good. So I think let's grab the angle grinder with the polishing disc over here, and we're just going to quickly buff it up a little bit and make the color match. Yeah, do a little bit of paint correction. Yeah, just get it all nice and shiny, matching with the rest of the car. And I must say, these wheels actually look totally epic on this car. Alright, so let's keep going at this, just polish up this front panel. And I think today this car is gonna very much look done. Might still have some nitty gritty stuff that I need to sort out, so we'll see how that's gonna work out. I mean, like the blower pulley that I didn't notice we had the wrong pulley on there. That's still something that we're gonna have to get for this car to, you know, sort it out. But I think in general we actually did pretty well on this project, guys. It's been a long time coming, and I really feel the need to finish this one off. So we'll see how that works out, and I think we did a relatively decent job at polishing that up now. Alright, so there's the front bumper, and I also got him some custom license plates, seeing as this car is going to be turned into a street car now. It used to be a drag car. Alrighty, and there we go. Okay, so the handbrake is still loose. Let's just tighten that up, okay. Alright, so now let's carry on with these parts. I think this can pop in there. We're going to need the screwdriver. Alright, zip that down and zip that down. Looking pretty good. Alright, and we can also grab the radiator. Just get that back into there. And we'll just bolt it down. Okay, looking good. So yeah, our radiator hose is lined up for the thermostat housing on the intake, which we're going to do next. Or not really next, but soon. Okay, so let's get some bulbs into these headlights. Alrighty, there we go. Come on, go in there. There we go. Alright, so yeah, it doesn't matter which one goes which side because they are interchangeable. That screw back there is a little bit hard to get to, but we'll get it. Okay, let's do this one. Alrighty. Here we are. It's another tricky one over there. Come on. And the last one. Looking good. And these were actually missing from the car. These little chrome trim pieces. So there we are. That is looking much better now. Alright, so let's also get the blinkers in. Or on, rather. I could have sworn, yeah, we actually had 2 bulbs laying around, but that's okay. Can't really keep track of everything that we've got in the shop because, yeah, once your shop starts getting a little bit, you know, riddled with parts, let's call it that. Sometimes hard to remember what you've got and what you don't have. Should actually spend a little bit more time in preparing for these videos. But I think that is actually looking pretty good. So this front end is now as clean as a whistle, guys. I think we did pretty well. Alright, let's go ahead and pop the license plates on here. Okay, zip that down over there and there. So yeah, custom license plates. TC1, his first car for the series that we are working on for him. So there we go. Those are his custom license plates, which also cost me a pretty penny, but I decided we're going to do it because, I mean, TC has always been a good customer of ours, and especially now we've got that beautiful Chevy Bel Air as payment for the work we are doing to this car. So I think it's all fair at the end of the day. Alright, so now this is the part that I'm not too sure about, which is the EFI system on this car. Now I've already got the backing plate mounted to the firewall there. So I think this will work. There's only one way to find out. Now there's also another concern that I've got with regards to this whole EFI system. And there's a loose bolt there. Okay, not ideal. So yeah, my only concern is that the blower setup for the EFI throttle body over here, it doesn't come with an air filter. I couldn't find one anywhere, and I've searched high and low, guys. I really couldn't get it. So yeah, that is just pretty much what it is. Okay, so now with this, I'm pretty sure this needs to come off of here first, okay? Because this goes onto the intake itself, which is color coded to match the the spark wires. I think that's actually a nice little touch. All right, so that is all hooked up, and now we need to get this mounted to the other end of this. So come on, let's not get stuck here. So this is super tricky. I could have sworn it was supposed to go on here somewhere. Alright, well, I don't know, maybe that doesn't work with that. I've got no idea. Yeah, these EFI things are tricky as hell, guys. So always willing to, take some advice from you guys if you've got any ideas for me. Comment down below. But we are going to see if we can get this figured out. Isn't this chip supposed to go in here somewhere? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so that goes into there, and then this gets mounted over there. Okay, so let's see if we bolt this down. All right. That is done. Okay, now I believe the blower would go on, which is not going to work because we don't have the right pulley, but we are going to be able to test it with the belt, because we've got the belt over here somewhere as well. Alrighty, so that is done. Where's the belt? I think this is it. Okay. Okay, so there's the belt, and as I said, the pulley is not the right one, but we're going to see if it wants to spin nonetheless. And then we've got this that needs to go on. Alright, so this is our throttle body, or, well, kind of like the EFI system on this supercharger. So I'm quite hopeful this will work. There's really only going to be one way to find out, and that is to try and fire it up and see what it does. Now, we don't have coolant in this thing yet, but I think we can go ahead and try and start it up. Just got to secure this thing. I think it's just the one bolt on that. Yeah, that looks like it. Okay. So now, if I'm not mistaken, this thing should actually fire up. So let's give it a little bit of a whirl. All right, push it back a tiny bit. Let's just check the engine oil, because that's one thing we don't want to have a problem with. Engine oil seems to be good. We need coolant. But okay, let's just see what this thing does. All right, come on. Get the fuel there. And, well, it fires up, guys. So I'm pretty sure that is the way it's supposed to be. I mean, it runs. Yeah, obviously the supercharger won't be spooling up because we don't have the right pulley, but it definitely does the job. And as I said, I'm a little bit worried about this intake. There's no air filter available for that. So, but guys, please do let me know down in the comment section if I'm missing anything. I've got no idea exactly where this is supposed to go. It runs without it, so I don't know if this is just like a fuel splitter or separator type of deal, fuel pump, but as far as I'm concerned, we removed it, and yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things I'm not too sure about, but yeah, all in all, that is basically what the car is going to look like when it's done and dusted. I just need to get that pulley over there, and then you guys can let me know what else we are missing, if we are missing anything. I've got absolutely no idea. I've never really worked on EFI systems, and I think this is as good as it's going to get at the moment with the experience or the knowledge that I have. But yeah, there she is, looking pretty decent. I don't know if the paint job is really perfect around the back, but we're not going to be doing anything about that. It looks almost as if it's just a reflection, which is a little bit weird, but yeah, definitely it looks good. I think it's a pretty nifty looking car, and this thing is going to have a whole bunch of power, seeing as this is a 380 cubic inch block with the supercharger and the EFI system now all hooked up, and it's running, and it actually sounds pretty good. So yeah, I think we're just going to leave it right there, guys, and see how it goes. Alright, so let's quickly get our welding machine out of the way. Alright, just put it down there. And we're going to need this as well. Alright, so we are going to continue with our BMW E36 real quick. Let's just bring our battery closer. Alright, so let's see if this is... whoa, okay, that's a bit weird. Okay, but here we go. This is our new to us BMW M50, what's it called again? It's a M50 B20. All right, that definitely fills the engine bay quite nicely. And we've got our throttle body, which goes onto the intake side of things right over there. All right, and let's just zip that down. Okay, so that is looking good. We've got the right engine in the engine bay now, and now we can also grab our battery, which is supposed to go here. And let's just bolt it down like that. Okay, and now we need our exhaust manifold. Okay, now this has got a crap ton of bolts on it, so we just got to make sure we get all of these. So there we go. Let's just zip them all down. Okay, so that is looking good so far. Alrighty, well. Alright, almost done. Okay, so we still need a couple of cables. Now, we do have got the starter on here. Okay, I was just concerned that I may have forgotten this or should have bought this separately, but there should be a bolt here. That is the one, and then that one is tightened down, and let's not forget the alternator bolt. And now it's just going to be a matter of getting our fuel line installed, which is over here. Okay, so let's pop this into the engine bay, and that bolts down all the way back here over there somewhere. It's just get in there. Okay. Alright, that is the world's smallest little bolt, but okay. We've got it, and I think everything else is still nice and tight on the engine here. I don't know if there's anything that we still needed to tighten down, but I think that looks good. Alright, so this engine is obviously going to need some oil. Let me see, just, I don't know if we should just pour it in. Let's just check what's going on here. Alright, that looks like it's empty. Or, I don't know. Maybe they've got old oil in here. I don't know. Can we just put this somewhere safe? Okay. Don't you go anywhere. Alright, I'm going to try this quickly. I'm just going to put one bottle in and see what the level does. Because I don't want to overfill this thing if it's got old oil in it. We'll have to drain it anyway. So, let's just see what happens if I fill this bottle into here and check the level again. If it lifts that level, then I know I need to drain this thing with, you know, all the oil that's currently in it. So we are going to be losing a bottle of oil here, but I don't know, it's not a big problem. And just like that. Okay, so the oil is clean now, so I think we are good. Okay, let's put that back into there. Alright, I think it should be safe to fire this thing up. Let's just pop that onto there. Alright, so the next part is to put the exhaust on, and then we're going to try and wrestle the transmission in under the car here. Which I actually need a lift for. But yeah, all of the lifts were occupied at the moment of deciding to do this. So we're going to try our best with our trusty old floor jack here. Let's see if we can get this thing lifted up nice and high. Alright, that's as high as it will go. Alright, let's take our M50 gearbox over here. Alright. There it is. Okay, and now we zip it down over there. And once again, it's going to be a lot of fun getting to all of these drive shaft bolts, most probably. Just got to feel around a bit, and now I think let's check it from here. Okay, so we've got a couple of bolts that needs to be bolted down. Alright, so far so good. Looks like we are getting them all. Alright, so this car is also going to need some coolant, and so is TC's car. We still need to fill that up with coolant. But it's not really a big train smash, and it usually takes a hot minute, and I don't show it on camera anyway, so you guys will just have to take my word for it when I say I'm doing it off camera. But okay, we can, however, try and crank this thing now and see if it fires up. Alright, lower this beautiful machine down. Alright, and we'll just put that out of the way there. Alright, so everything should be good. Let's see if it actually does anything. If we turn the key. You know what? Yeah, of course. So I never got the gas tank, guys, but so we won't know if this thing fires up now. But yeah, I think we did everything that's supposed to go back onto this engine or into this engine bay. So everything looks good, and we will get the gas tank. I'll fill it up with some gasoline, and we'll try and crank this thing again in the next episode, guys. So that is job done for now. So yeah, moving from suspension to the coupe to the BMW. None of them are completely finished, I know, but at least we are making good progress. We are getting stuff done. And that is the aim for today, is just to see how far we can get with everything. So I guess next up is going to be our 1958 Chevy Bel Air. So now this is going to require a whole lot of work in order to get everything sorted. So I wanted to maybe grab the plasma cutter first of all. And we're going to see if we can get this inner fender off. But we need to just bring this thing down a little bit, because I think we need to take the fender off. This humongous fender that this car's got. Okay, so what is that going to require? It's just 3 bolts by the looks of it. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that is off. Alrighty, and now this needs to be removed, and then also the battery can come out. Okay, so there's our battery. And now the other question is, does this battery tray come off? It didn't come with the new one, right? So we're gonna have to probably reuse that by the looks of it. Yeah, it looks like we need that battery tray, so we'll inspect it once we get this thing cut off, if we're gonna be able to get it cut off, because sometimes these things are a little bit tricky. Whoop, okay, there it goes. Alright, that actually went a lot easier than I thought. Okay, and now, where the heck is the battery tray? Is the battery tray... Okay, so that's mounted to the frame somewhere there, or it's kind of just there, you know, so... Okay, well, let's not question it. Alright, so that means we can pop on this, which is our new to us frame rail, and that fixes up that issue that we had there. Alright, look at me kicking new parts around here. Okay, so let's see if we can weld that thing back into place and how many millions of welds it's going to require. Let's just take this with us. Alright, get this welding machine over here. Alrighty. And let's just weld it back over there. And we're going to need another electrode. Alright, let's grab one from the box here. Okay, just get it in there. Okay, so let's weld that up. And that. And then I think we are golden. So that is actually pretty simple. I didn't expect it to go so quickly. So yeah, not too bad. Okay, now this is going to be the whole other part of the process, is to remove the floor pan. So I think let's get our fender back on. Now, I have never really stripped one of these as far as I'm currently stripping this one, so it's going to be a learning curve. Well, definitely a whole lot of, you know, practice. Let's call it practice. Alright, so now what is it going to entail to take this floor off? Now, I'm going to take a wild guess here, guys, and say that this thing is bolted down as well. I don't think that is the only way, but we are going to check this out, and hopefully this thing doesn't fly off of the, you know, of our 2-post lift here. Doing it like this. But you know what? I'm up for the challenge. We're gonna see if we can figure this out. And okay, that is Oh, alright, guys. Well, that is a bit unexpected. Okay, so we took the whole body off the car, which is actually crazy. But I think this is probably what we would have to have done anyway, because now the floor can be cut off, but holy crap, we've got a crap ton of stuff actually mounted to this body. So the body on frame is, yeah, well, basically removed now. So there's going to be all sorts of things bolted to the floor that we need to take off here, like the seats. I just wonder if this thing's going to stay, in one piece if we take all of this apart. Okay, so there's our front bench seat, which is absolutely in terrible condition. Gear stick. Come on, it's going to be a pain grabbing all of these parts from the inside of this thing. Alright, well, you know what? We'll see what it takes to get this thing stripped. Okay, pedals can stay, that can stay. This rear seat might have to come out. Although I'm actually reluctant to put this seat back into the car because that's, well, both of them are actually bad. The rear seat and also the bench seat for the front is actually bad. So let's see if we start cutting what happens, and if... Okay, that thing is way too far. Let's just come over here and pick it up. Alright, so let's see. Now this is going to be probably a whole bunch of welds. Alright, well, we'll just figure it out. I think I might be a bit too far for those ones on that side. Can we actually hop into this thing? Is it going to be possible? Is it going to be weird with us? Hopefully not. Alright, well, it's definitely doing all sorts of crazy things here. Alright, well, we're getting there. I think that's the rocker panel. Okay, wait a second. I think... Let's see. What did we cut off there? That is the rocker panels. Okay. Alright, so that means the other welds that we still have on the car are the ones that we still need to cut off the car then. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit different to what I'm used to. I don't think that's relevant. Okay, let's just go and check this side. I'm just learning as I go here, guys. It's definitely a learning curve, as I mentioned earlier. Alright. Alright, so are you telling me that we're gonna have to cut this whole thing apart? Like, everything. Is this thing gonna reach this side? I hope so. Because it doesn't look like the floor's gonna be something easy to remove. It looks like we're gonna have to remove everything. And that we just cut off a piece of the middle floor here. Yes, that is it. So that is the middle floor. Okay. So that is off. Now, maybe beyond the door cards or the rear door things. I don't know what those interior panels... those are bolted in. Okay, so even stuff like that is... yeah, I would think it's pried off, but seems to be bolted on. Okay, let's take this off. And just check behind there. There might be some welds there we are missing. I've got a suspicion that everything that we are... well, have to take off this car is going to be mounted to the floor. I think the floor is the starting base of this thing, and yeah, this thing is just going to be going in all sorts of directions here. But okay. Let's see, guys. I really don't want to mess this up. What is that? That's probably the inner fender, which we recently replaced, and now I just cut it again. Alrighty, so I'm thinking we need to cut everything off. Do this car, well, up properly. That's our... okay. That is... what do they call this? Door frame. Okay. So yeah, I think it's safe to say we need to transfer everything over to our new floor. That is probably how this is going to work out. So let's do it. There's nothing to it but to do it, actually. And just get this thing, you know, rebuilt almost all the way, which is something I didn't expect to do today. But okay, you know what? Let's have at it. See what happens. All right, so there's that part with the door and the hinge and everything, so that can go back onto the new floor probably. I've got no idea how this actually works, so let's just see. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be a start of something fresh. Okay, well, I guess that is the way it's done, which is very time consuming. Let's just call it time consuming, because it's just going to take a hot minute to get everything cut off this thing. But I'm quite confident we will get it eventually. So as long as we just stick to it and get everything on there as we take it off, we should be good. All right, that needs to be cut off still, probably. I've got no idea. Okay, so let's cut these welds over there. Okay, so there's the trunk floor, I believe. Is this the trunk floor? Which I think it is. Yeah, that's the trunk floor. Okay, let's put that onto there. Okay, I think before we continue, I'm going to have to start welding stuff onto the new floor as we go, so that we don't end up losing our way here. Could probably tag weld everything down. Just making sure we get this thing to that point where it's gonna be stable again, because now, holy crap, I haven't anticipated for this, really. I haven't anticipated as much work on this, so we're gonna need our electrodes, definitely. Yeah, this is turning into be a whole other story. But okay, let's keep welding. Strip, cut, and weld. Yeah, everything's so bouncy and weird and all of that on this thing. But okay. We are rebuilding this car pretty much from the ground up now. Let's just also check the condition of these parts as we are taking them off. And that's another electrode done. Okay, so it looks like we are going to be needing some more electrodes. So what I think I'll do is I'll see how far I can get with the electrodes that I have at the shop, guys, because I don't really feel like stepping out to go and pick up more electrodes. So what we'll do is we'll get this thing put together as far as we can today. We'll see if we can strip that thing completely at least. And then what we can do is also get the suspension put together. Alright, so that looks like that is getting there. It's definitely going to be a whole lot of work still. I'm actually up for the challenge. It's definitely not going to be, impossible. It's just going to be a matter of making sure you get whatever you cut off put back onto the thing. Okay, that's our cowl panel and firewall also. Okay, so that can go back onto there. I think we should wait with this, and I should have actually sandblasted the stuff now as I'm, taking them apart. But you know what, it's fine, we can always do that later down the line. Okay, so now that needs to weld to this, and this welds to something else, so it's definitely... Yeah, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense that the way that it's done, but heck, if it works, right? If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. Okay, so now I haven't seen exactly where this roof story comes off yet. Maybe it's going to be the same type of deal with the... yeah, I don't know. Okay. Alright, so this is our middle lip panel, as they call it. So that can go onto there. Oh, can you just go onto there? Okay, where's our welding machine? Still on this side, okay. Alrighty, here we go. Let's shock this thing or burn it in over there. What else do we need to do? There. And we need an electrode. Yeah, I'm doubtful we're gonna have enough electrodes, guys. This thing is gonna have a whole bunch of stuff we need to weld back into place. Even on some places where I didn't even cut yet, so I can't reach there. Okay, well, let's come this way. I don't know, welding cable seems to be long enough, and we just wasted the weld there, but okay. Yeah, definitely a crap ton of welds. Alright, so now that that is so far, we need to cut some more stuff off, and I think if we just keep at it, we'll eventually get everything cut off. I was really hoping that the floor would just, come off separately, and I just noticed these welds over here, so that must be for the roof. Oh, that's probably... yeah, there we go. Alright, so this is going to be the way that we spray paint the roof separate color, probably by removing it and painting it separately and then putting it together. So we're going to be doing this again at the later stage. Yeah, I really didn't think I was going to go as deep into the bodywork today, guys, because this is definitely a whole lot more than what I expected for today. But okay. You know what? I'm kind of on the fly type of going guy, I do what I do, and we try our best. We should probably also get these things back on. Okay, so that didn't want to work too well, so we are gonna have to see if the doors need to be closed maybe to get these on, and these are super hard to grab because, okay, I don't know why. Let's just try this with the door closed. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. What in the heck is this? This is the rear valance. Okay, that goes onto there. Okay, this goes onto this side. Alright. There's about 2 million more welds to do. I think we should have this thing put together. Alright, as I said, I'm going to keep going until I'm out of electrodes, and then we will just see what's next. I think suspension. We'll probably put the suspension back together on the frame, because that's where that mounts to. If you think about it logically. Okay, let's go around to this side, and this other thing still needs to be welded down. Yeah, here the welds are a little bit easier to see. Alright, let's just check if we missed anything so far. Which is quite possible at this stage, guys. I think we may have missed something somewhere along the line. Let's check here. I don't see anything. What's that? That's just the panel gap. Okay, so that looks good so far. And let's cut some more welds off. Yeah, I really wish it was easier moving this thing. It was not easy getting it off in the first place. Okay, so now we need to grab our... Okay, that's empty. Plasma cutter. Again. Which I've got no idea where I put the handle. It's probably around here somewhere. I've got no idea how this comes off. That may be just prise on and off. Okay. That's fine. We'll figure it out when we get there. Okay, that is off. And that'll come off. And then that's a separate part. Okay. And then these welds over here. Okay. Alright, so that floor is now pretty much empty. I think we just need this for this. Okay, that is good. And now I think we've got everything off of here. Yeah. Alright, that actually isn't too bad if you think about it. Okay, let's put this back in there for what it's worth. This is going to go in first. Yeah, that'll go in. Okay, now we need our welding handle thing. Where did I put it now? It's somewhere here. I do know it's here. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's see. Weld over there, and let's go this way. Okay, looking good. We are out of electrode once again, and every time we open something, this thing wants to fly away. Alrighty, and now we can grab these. Put that onto there. And put this one over here somewhere. There it is, okay. We need another electrode, and I maybe stand corrected, guys. We should be able to get this thing put together all the way, which will be great, because then that is another part of the job done. But yeah, I don't know how far we have to strip this thing again to do the other work I want to do to this. Might be something we'll have to look at. Okay, that's probably the... Yeah, that's the pedal sticking out. And I can't recall loosening the main brake line, but may have been done. I don't know. As I said, things are a little bit weird, but okay. It's definitely quite a bit of a learning experience, guys. This is a pretty nifty little car, actually, if you think about it, the way that it's put together. Alright, let's get these back in for what it's worth for now. And yeah, hopefully pretty soon, yeah, this thing's going to be mobile again. Although I still got to figure out what I want to do for an engine in this car. Because I'm thinking... Maybe we upgrade the 283 to a 350 cubic inch Chevy block. That'll definitely add a little bit of grunt to this thing and also make it perform a whole lot better. Okay, so there's that. And let's get our bench seat again. So all that work just to replace the floor pan. Totally worth it. So this is no longer a Flintstones mobile, guys. This is definitely gonna be a true classic. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing back onto there, which I'm sure we can. Just like that. And now we just need to bolt down all 3,295,000 of these bolts that they've got under here. And then I think we should be able to get the suspension put together, which, yeah, looking at the time, I think we've got enough time for that. Alright, so that is all 2,795,033 bolts, I think. That's what I said. I don't recall now, but okay, what the hell. You know what I mean. Okay, so that is all junk. Those are all of our tools scattered all over the place. And I forgot about this, which is not the biggest train smash. We'll get to that. All right, guys, let's start working on suspension. All right, starting with our leaf spring. We'll put our leaf springs on. All right. Just like this. All right, so the leaf springs are where the axle is going to mount to. As I said, I didn't get the rear brakes, so we'll see. I'll get that maybe later on and get that sorted. We did get the calipers, but yeah, we don't have the discs. So we'll just wait with that then. Luckily not a big train smash. It's not a must to put it on now. It's just it'll be nice to go as far as we can with all of the projects today, and that is kind of the aim. Alright, and there should be one more bolt right there. Okay, main brake line will probably not go on today. The drive shaft can go in. Probably, hopefully. Yeah, it looks like it can. Alright. Okay, now we can get our axle in, which... Yep, there it goes. Alright, now we can just zip it all down. And we'll also do the drive shaft. Zip it down there. And yeah, we still got our main brake line on the car, which is weird that it actually stayed behind after taking the whole freaking body off with the brake master cylinder mounted. So that bolt's also going to be probably something we need to figure out. But okay, let's start the front suspension because I think everything is done for the rear. This fell over, which is not ideal, but this battery needs to be replaced anyway, so I think we've got a better one on the table here. I don't know where this came from. Okay, interesting. Yep, definitely not keeping track of every single part we've got in the shop. This is the right-hand side over there. Okay, so technically this thing should turn around like this so that we can know which side is which as it goes on the car. Upper control arms, hub carrier for the front right. Alrighty, and now, yeah, let's do this one side at a time, I guess. And this shock absorber goes on there. Bolts down over there, and should be another nut down here somewhere, actually. I don't know, it's not popping up yet, so I think there's something missing probably. We'll figure it out as we go. Steering arm, does this go onto the... I think this goes onto the bodywork, actually, on the... Yeah, that goes onto the frame rail over there. Which was actually a whole lot of fun, figuring out how to bolt this thing down. So I think that's maybe just... Okay, can't take it off again. It's kind of wedged in there now, so it is what it is. Okay, let's continue with this, what we can do now. Alright, that's at least a nice thing about having a secondary lift, because now if we get another vehicle on the other lift, or if we get another project in, we can put it on the other lift, actually, and then this one can just stay put on... Well, the Bel Air can just stay put on this one, so that's fine. It's not really a big train smash. Alright, now we're gonna grab this. Okay, so that one's got the bolt, and that bolt also decided to show up to the party, so that is great. Or the nut, rather. Okay, so now these can also go on. So these are the old brake discs. Oh, that's kind of why I forgot to buy the rear ones, because the front one, well, one of them were good. So I thought myself, no, I can just buy one disc, and then I didn't end up buying the rear ones, because we are doing a rear brake disc conversion, which is, yeah, something you're going to need brake discs for. But it's okay, we'll get it done. Definitely. Come on, can we get that on? Alright, this is always fun getting this on. Let's try it from this angle. There it goes. Okay, so now we've got that sorted. Okay, we're gonna need some brake pads in these calipers as well. Let's just put that in real quick. Alright, come on, go in there. Okay, next one. And the next one. And now, which side is this now? This is the front right. Okay, so that goes onto here. Alright, and then that one can go onto here. Right there. Alright, now we need our spring compressor. Now I brought the freaking toolbox this way. Okay. Right, spring compressor. That's what I wanted to say. Okay. Getting a little bit tongue-tied sometimes. Okay, there we go. Front springs are in. Now we need to figure this all out, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. Okay, let's lower this thing down. Alright, I think that's low enough for now. Where's our wrench? Did I put it down over here? Okay, so the steering box is probably going to be mounted over there. Okay, now as for the steering arm on this side, this was a bit of a trickier one. I think we've got it. Okay, and now we can get our link on. And now that's probably also going to have some very hard to reach bolts here. Unless if... I think this needs to go on first, because that probably bolts down with the tie rod. And those actually seem like the deal. Okay, so now where's this thing? Is this thing now... Yep, there it is. Okay, what is the deal over here? Okay, so no bolt on the steering link on that side. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to question it. Let's just roll with it. I don't recall loosening anything on the side anyway when we took it off, so that is probably the way it is. Maybe it's a snap-on. Could be. Alright, and now this can go back on. Or go on. There we go. Alright, looking at that, guys, I think we've got everything installed once again. Just need to do this, and we need rear brake discs in order to put those calipers on. But yeah, I think we're just going to roll with these steelies for the time being. I think we can actually get this wheel on at the back as well, because we've got our hub there. And just see if she sits, you know, level now. And if everything looks a little bit better. So I can always take these off again when we get the discs and do the calipers and all that. And then that will be sorted. Alright, and let's just grab our last steely over here. So I'm thinking these wheels will actually work on the car. I'm just going to see if I can find like a little center smoothie hubcap or something. And then we maybe get the wheels painted white. And with our white roof and the green paint job. Or maybe even change the color a bit. And then I've got 4 of these tires, which we can mount to them as well. And then if we've got the center cap, chrome smoothie hubcap, and the rims painted white, I think that's going to look pretty nifty on this car. It's going to definitely give it that classic look that I'm aiming for. But I don't know. It all depends, guys. I'm still deciding exactly what I want to do with this. I might even get a set of bigger wheels and tires to show off the disc brakes at the back, but it's not really necessary to do that, you know, so it's kind of a, yeah, something I'm still thinking about. But okay, let's lower this car back down. I want to see what she looks like now with the suspension fixed up. And now we can actually take our lift arms out from under it without any problems, because it's actually sitting at the right height. Yeah, just look at that. All right, that is definitely a whole lot better, and I think we did good. So, guys, I think that is going to be a wrap for today's episode. I managed to sort out quite a couple of things in our shop here, guys. So, I didn't expect the Bel Air to take as much of our time as it did today, but I think it's a good thing we managed to get that floor pan replaced. Because let's face it, that is nasty. And same with this is also replaced at least. We've got the suspension built for Del Boy for his El Camino, aka Jesse. We've got TC's car almost done completely. It's almost perfect. Just gotta figure out that pulley on the blower belt at the bottom. On the BMW, we still need the gas tank, which I think that is going to sort this car out. And it's going to be able to fire up. And as for the Chevy Bel Air, I actually think this thing will fire up again if we just connected up all of the hoses and stuff and the brake master cylinder stuff and get that sorted and figured out. Because, I mean, yeah, well, we'll have to check that thing as well. It might be from 1958 or 1960s or something, but okay. We'll get that figured out, depending on whether we can get this thing up and running. But I'm still considering buying a brand new engine for this thing, but in order to do that, we will have to get the BMW over there sold, guys, and just take it from there. So I think that is going to be a wrap for today's episode. So thank you all so much for tuning in, guys. I really appreciate every view, every like. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I will appreciate it very much. And then until the next time, cheerio for now.